So I've got about 5,000 cousins up in. I know the population's only 500, but somehow I have
the
5,000
entire
cousins.
population. You are related to them. Yeah.
When I moved to Calgary, I joined a band, and long story short, we spent many years on the road and put up albums and playing shows, opening for quite a few big bands, like really big bands. Well, the biggest was Oasis. One day I got this call from Hart Massey. So when he called in and he was like, "How do you feel about being a teacher?" And I went, "Wow, what an incredible opportunity." Yeah, no thanks.
Welcome back. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Off the Record. I'm your host, Jordan Rance. My guest today, hailing from Norman Wells, Northwest Territories, a former teacher of mine from the Toronto Film School, an actor, singer, songwriter, and known for his iconic slow motion videos. Simeon Ross is here to talk about his love for acting, music, creating art in general, where the idea for the slow motion videos came from, and so much more. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Simeon to the show, and let's get into it. Simeon, welcome back, I should say. This is round 2, but it's all good. Technical difficulties. How you doing?
Hello, sir. I'm good.
I'm good. Good.
No worries at all on the second round. It's a lot worse when you've shot a film and then you realize,
something.
We have to go shoot that
wrong.
scene again.
Yeah. Bring all the actors back and the crew and everything. Yeah. Speaking of film, I was just before we got in here, I'd noticed you were working on like lighting for some kind of a film of some sorts.
It was kind of funny. I played a backyard party a couple of weeks ago, and a friend of mine who I hadn't seen for quite a few years was there, a director. And her specialty is stop motion animation. Her name's Terrell Calder. So she's like an award-winning director, like a real deal kind of person.
Nice.
And anyway, we were talking at the party, and she said, "How are your lighting skills?" And I had a couple of glasses of wine by that point, so I said, "Pretty damn good." And then the next day, she called and said, "So, I just want to talk more about the lighting on this National Film Board film."
Wow.
And I immediately regretted saying, "Pretty damn good."
Yeah. Because you set the bar real high there.
Why did I say that? And so anyway, long story short, we just did our third pre-production session.
Nice.
And her sets are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Like they're miniature sets, quite big, but miniature. She's got this cool studio in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went in, and because it's outside of the box and it's brand new for me. So I just kind of went in with the same mentality as a film set. I just lit the miniatures dolls like humans.
Yeah.
And down to shooting shadow side, Rembrandt triangles. It was funny. There was a graduate, Dan, who left a message on Instagram from a post from the shoot, and he said only a film or student or acting student would say this, but he went, "Holy, is that a Rembrandt triangle on a miniature doll?" Oh, golly. I was laughing.
Yeah.
Only a film nerd would notice something like that.
For sure, eh?
So it went really well and knocked out of the park, and I'm going to be working on the actual film, which starts shooting in October.
Great. Cool. Like here in Toronto?
Pretty cool experience. Yeah, here in Toronto.
Yeah. Nice. That sounds so fun.
It's wild. The sets are just wild. The details in her dolls are like I can't remember exactly how she makes them, but there's cast molds and silicone and moving like the stomach on the doll breathes like in and out.
Wow.
And like the eyes move, and they have muscles that move, and like it's crazy.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And you said it's for stop motion?
Yeah, stop motion.
Yeah.
Cool. Phenomenal
Wow, eh?
opportunity to work. She's so cool and so nice. And when you meet somebody, you just click.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
it was like yeah, we're just like two peas in a pod.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome.
Problem solving.
Yeah, it's definitely a game changer
Yeah.
when you can like work with someone that you click with for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah. It makes a big
Oh,
difference.
1000%. Tell me about life in Norman Wells, Northwest Territories. You know, when you had told me that you're from there, uh, that was the first time I was ever even uh, hearing about this place. I've
Right.
never heard of this. I looked it up, and it says as of 2021, the population is only 673.
It kind of expands in the summer when all the people from the south come up for work. It gets bigger, but yeah, it's a small place. You can only access it by plane, and there's a winter road you can access by winter road as well. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's like very isolated, very beautiful place. My granny had 16 kids and adopted two. So
Yeah. Oh,
my mom was the youngest of all those kids.
yeah.
And so I've got about 5,000 cousins up in, I know the population's only 500, but somehow I have
The entire
5,000 cousins.
population, you are related to them. Yeah, in some
Yeah.
some way. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was born up there and raised up there as a kid, and then we moved south when I was quite young,
Right, right.
and went back, every summer. And I haven't been back for a while. I played a music festival there quite a few years ago now, but
Nice.
they I had an opportunity to go up this month,
Mm.
but I have so much on the go. I had to cancel.
Oh,
I
right.
couldn't go. But
Right,
I know a
right.
lot of my relatives are all meeting up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful place. Like it's it's you can't describe it. It's like majestic
Mm.
place.
Yeah, think about places like that, or I mean, even for me, it's like I think like way far on like the East Coast, like
Yeah.
Newfoundland and Labrador. You really think it's like this is Canada, like crazy. This is like you don't think about that as being a part of the country. You think must be this
Yeah,
different kind of place. Yeah,
it's like anything north of Bloor, like that kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
no.
yeah. Uncharted territory. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Eh? So, what was the biggest?
I'm gonna get it for that joke from a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Toronto locals for sure will get that for sure. I have to ask, was there a big like culture shock moving from such a small city to like, did you move directly from Norman Wells to Toronto or?
No, I lived all over the West. I lived in Winnipeg, Calgary, and
Oh yeah,
Edmonton
hey, yeah, yeah,
so before I moved here. So,
right, okay,
but even going from the north to the south, even as a kid, it was a shock. But when you're a kid, you adjust within 3 hours.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So,
It's not really a big thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Cool. What brought you to Toronto then?
Well, I played in a band for many years.
Right. Okay. I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was, like an actor as a teenager and really involved in theater and uh, commercials and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Calgary, I joined a band. And long story short, we spent many years on the road and put up albums and playing shows, opening for quite a few um, big bands, like really
That's
big
right.
bands.
That's right. What was I
Uh,
remember you had mentioned a really big
well,
name.
the biggest was Oasis.
That's right. Yeah.
But there
Yeah.
was about, over the years we played with scores of quite bigger bands, and then
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
had our own thing going, so that was good.
Right.
And then we were trying to make a decision on whether to move to England, which
Okay.
I really wish we would have.
Yeah.
And then decided let's stop in Toronto for to get warmed up, and then move to the UK. But we broke up before we
Oh,
were
okay.
able to go to the UK. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it all worked out because I formed another band, and that band did well,
Hmm.
and many years later, went back to Toronto Film School for
Yeah.
the acting program.
Yep.
And then it just, I don't know, life's funny, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it, I
Yeah.
feel like all this stuff happens for a reason. So,
Absolutely. I'm a huge believer in that. Yep. Everything happens for a reason. Uh, if you don't mind, can we talk about what, like how that experience was for opening for Oasis?
um,
Like,
it was
how'd
really,
that come to be? And
we had a manager at the time that set it up, and
okay. Yeah.
um, it was like a big crowd. I remember the excitement. We had a lot of fun on stage,
Yeah.
and we met like Noel Gallagher. He had all these guitars backstage,
Mm.
and one of the guitars, a really famous guitar that Pete Townsend from The Who owned, and he gave it to Johnny Marr from the Smiths. Johnny Marr gave it to Noel Gallagher famously.
Wow. Eh?
And a lot of like I love the Smiths and a lot of my favorite songs. That guitar was used on those tracks. So
Mm-hmm.
my we were backstage and we saw the guitar sitting there. So my guitar player sort of went up and touched it. We're
Yeah.
just in awe. It was like the heavens were shining beams of light on this
Okay.
guitar. And then right at that moment, Noel Gallagher walked around the corner. He's like, "Hey, if you're gonna touch it, pick it up and play it." We were like, my mind was blown.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, Noel Gallagher was really nice,
Yeah.
and the whole band were nice. Liam Gallagher was Liam Gallagher, like he was as you would
Mm-hmm.
expect Liam Gallagher to be.
Right.
But those guys killed it that night. It was like
Awesome, eh?
energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
really funny backstage. Like I just remember the rider being like a mountain of Heineken, like 15 feet high.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah.
Um, that's so cool. Yeah, I remember you had mentioned that to me about opening, but I couldn't remember what the band was. That's
Right.
huge accomplishment for sure. Is joining a band, is that ever on the radar in the future, or are you kind of
Um,
enjoying flying solo?
I really miss playing with people,
Yeah.
but I think my band days are over. And I'm happy being solo
Yeah.
and then hiring people to come in to play. I have besties that are all my friends are musicians, so
Right.
I'm gonna bring them in for the bigger shows, and these guys are all like master musician guys. And actually, funny enough, I did play a show a couple of years ago, and in the 11th hour, brought in three Toronto Film School acting graduates to
Wow.
play in the band because
Mm,
they're musicians, and we had one rehearsal, and they killed it. We had
cool.
Q Jackson and Malcolm play live. I mean, they learned the songs in one day, and then we had a killer show. It was really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always like wished I could have this God-given talent of being able to pick up an instrument and just know how to play it. Like I play a little bit of guitar, but
Oh,
nothing
you do?
too crazy. Like I always tell people, do you know the song "Fast Car" by Tracy Chapman?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a song I'm pretty confident in playing. Which actually, surprisingly enough, it's well because it's all like finger plucking, as you may know.
And sliding.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
very difficult part, is getting your fingers from, I think you start on like the second fret or whatever and slide it to like the sixth, or can't remember what it is right now. But
Right.
yeah, I remember learning that. I also know a bit of Bohemian Rhapsody, just like
Oh,
the,
yeah.
not the guitar solo, I wish, but the like piano part. Yeah.
That's really
I
cool.
love playing instruments, making music. Like
What kind of guitar do you have?
just an acoustic guitar right now. But I
Okay.
definitely want to get like an electric guitar and play around with that kind of stuff. Like for
Amazing.
sure, like my focus right now is acting. Um, but I love listening to music. I love singing. All that sorts of stuff. So I can definitely see myself sort of heading that direction someday, possibly.
Someday. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
But your main focus right now is hardcore acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's fair to say for sure. Because, I actually don't know where I was going with that. I I do that.
Because you're a hell of an actor. and the world
That's
needs to
true.
see it. That's
That's
why.
true. Yeah, see, that's exactly. You get me. You get me. You get me. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. I have to ask you though, what draws you to storytelling, like in terms of like through music, through acting, like what, I don't know, like what do you enjoy about it, I guess?
You know, as far as music goes with lyrics, I've always had a really hard time with it. But
Yeah.
I was watching all these YouTube videos and about journaling, which I started about, I don't know, a year ago.
Right.
And so for 10 minutes a day, you just write random. It doesn't matter what you're writing,
Just write something.
and anything that comes to mind.
Really?
And some of them are, artsy. Some of them are like, I'm getting a new toothbrush today, like that
Okay.
kind of thing. Whatever flows. And something about it clicked. And it
Mm.
just within 1 week, it's
Mm-hmm.
like your brain it's like anything in life, right? Like
Yeah.
the more you do it, the better you
The better
get.
you get at it
And
for sure. Yeah.
and as far as that goes, with flow, words coming out, it really just flows like a river now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before it was, I'd be banging my head against a wall trying to get lyrics done on the day of the recording.
Yeah.
Um, so storytelling through lyrics has become a lot easier now. And
Yeah.
with film, it's just, you know, I think like all of us that are into acting and the arts, we had heavy imaginations as kids. I remember I'm an insomniac, night owl. So
Okay.
even as a kid, I would um, be up until 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
as a little guy.
Yeah.
And all I'd do in that time, because my mom would be like, if, if even opened the bedroom door, hey.
Yeah.
Um, so I just would sit in bed for hours imagining different scenarios. Like uh, I remember one, like trapped in a cave on the side of a mountain, and I have to rescue 10 people, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Imagination and just
Yeah.
and it's kind of fun now that I can take those ideas and translate them into film ideas.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool how that
But I
sort of
mean,
translates. Yeah.
hey, you know how it is. You got all this stuff and you just got to,
Mm-hmm.
and the problem is, I think we had talked about this last time, but some people are slow burners, other people burn bright fast,
Yeah.
and I'm a slow burner. And
Right.
um, but I've learned to do things properly now,
Mm-hmm.
not work more, but my mom said work smarter
Work
and
smarter, not harder. Is that the saying?
not harder. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I would sit on stuff for a long time and plan and work. Like for writing music, I I was in a studio for basically 5 years just recording.
Yeah.
And
Right.
now I have like three albums worth of songs good to go, ready to go.
Right. Right.
And but as far as planning now, I'm sort of learning how to execute the imagination and the ideas and make it something that's in your hard drive that you can actually is tangible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like we just started filming. We've been talking about shooting acting reel scenes for a year, and yesterday we started. And there's
Right.
something so awesome about doing it, and now we're addicted. It's
Yeah.
like you have all this anticipation to do a play, you're all nervous, and then you do one opening night, and then you're addicted. So that's kind of
Absolutely. Yeah.
where we're at now. Is
Yeah.
like, okay, enough planning.
Just doing it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Speaking of doing stuff, you had just briefly mentioned your new album. Um, Tell me about that. What's that all about? What's going on there?
The new, we're still still finishing off the recording, but the first
Mm-hmm.
single is coming out in like a week,
Yeah. Nice.
and it's I'm coming out with a banger. It's going to be a ballad.
That's right.
Yeah, I haven't put out music in 5 years. I'm going to start with a really sad ballad. Get the party
Yeah.
started.
Really get the people
Um,
excited. Yeah. No, I'm sure it'll be great. But
um, so yeah, singles coming out, and then we started the first night of the music video. yesterday. Actually, we
Hmm.
had the film shoot 2 days ago, and then I had three shoots in 2 days, so a little confused here.
Yeah.
But yeah, last night we did the music video, the first half
Yeah.
indoor shoot with two Toronto Film School acting graduates,
Cool.
Isabel and Emma,
Yeah.
who are identical twins.
Oh, cool.
And they just graduated and lovely human beings and great students and terrific actors
Wow.
and also wise guys. Real good sense of humor. They give it and take it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah. And my favorite kind of people who can give it and take it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I told them, nothing makes me happier in life than to have people take the piss out of me. You know,
Yeah.
that I'm friends with.
True. True. Yeah. 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 It'd be a little
Um,
different if some random
anyway,
person's doing that.
so they came in and killed it. We did their acting performances, unbelievable. The shots, the lighting, this
Mm.
it's just so I can't wait because it's gonna come out. We're gonna do the night shoot for it outdoors, and then I have to scramble and edit together for the 10th, July 10th.
Wow. Oh yeah,
So
because you're
song will come out.
doing the live show that day, right?
They're doing the show, yeah,
Yeah.
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 So yeah, so the first single's out, and then every 6 weeks the next single will come out, and after five I'll put the whole record out. But
Yeah. Cool.
yeah, and then the next songs are a lot more upbeat,
All right.
like
Okay.
but the process was I had a really sad breakup in when COVID hit,
Hmm.
literally like the week it hit.
Right.
And so we had a breakup, and she moved out and to be with family during the lockdowns, and I didn't pick up the guitar for like 6 months,
That's right. Yeah.
and then one day I just looked at it and went, all right, it's time. So threw it on and wrote this song Revelry like in 10 minutes and got the lyrics done and everything.
Yeah.
And so I think from now in 2025, from 2020. I've been single the entire time. I
Mm.
haven't gone on one date. Zero, like
Not a
zero.
zip. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So I did I didn't anticipate it would be this long, this long, but it was like I just need to step back and find myself and go through
Hmm.
the all that stuff. And
Hmm.
then the album is really about the transformation of you know, looking inwards, self-love, self-care,
I love that.
appreciation, being grateful for what you
Oh.
have and not what you don't have
Hmm.
so much. Sorry, my voice.
Yeah.
I've been yelling at actors for 3 days. Hey, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I know you're
um,
just like that. Yeah. Yeah. You're a mean
a
guy.
tyrant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so the album's about the journey from the first song. It's fitting that it's coming out first because it was the breakup and just the evolution of which doesn't happen overnight. I went to therapy for 2 years
Mm.
and the it's gradual. Every day is a new day and it's a gradual climb.
Yeah.
But then suddenly one day you look back and you're like, hey, I'm doing all right now. Like I'm
Great.
not suffering from all the things I suffered from before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, like for me, it was like I used to suffer from severe depression,
Hmm.
and I'm I have diagnosed with ADHD. So figuring out that I have that
Yeah.
was a game changer. It was just
Right.
opened up my whole world and made me realize like, okay, it's not my fault. A lot of the stuff that happened in my life, the failures and the frustrations are not, actually a chemical thing. It's like I'm not just this big loser idiot
Mm.
failure.
No, absolutely not. No.
I've got this thing, and now that I've learned how to manage that thing, um it's just opened up my whole world.
Right. Awesome.
And also we're going for long walks and stuff. But
Yeah.
so that's what the album's about. It's the evolution of the breakup to today, literally.
Right. Your whole journey
Yeah.
of finding yourself again. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely realizing as far as being single, I joke about it a lot. Like my friends all say that I'm dead on the inside. Um, I have tons of jokes about how
Yeah.
I have been single, but it's like really kind of figuring out you need that self love before you can, you can't find love. You can't fill yourself up with someone else. You need to fill
Mm-hmm.
yourself up first,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
open yourself up to that.
Yeah.
And I didn't, like I think a lot of us um don't do that for many, many, many years, right?
No way. Yeah.
So,
Well, I definitely have heard that you have to love yourself uh, in order to love someone else. Um, so it's yeah, that's good that you've taken that time
I
for
mean,
yourself for sure.
I mean, you can obviously like we've all loved people and not loved ourselves,
Yeah.
and that works too, but sort of to a point. But I think the main thing I learned was instead of I'm not a very negative person,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but looking back on those past relationships, realizing like for the first time, like taking accountability, I think,
Yeah.
and being like, oh, okay, I might have been, I've been angry about this or that or whatever, frustrated or
Right.
whatever the case was.
Yeah.
But then taking a look back at it and going, okay, I did all these things wrong. This is
Mm-hmm.
where I was in life. This is my behavior. This is, and when you come to terms with that, you realize that's just part of the process of healing, and that, oh yeah, I could be open to being with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, it's a never-ending thing, right? You're always going to be learning and always failing and always
Oh yeah.
rebuilding
Yeah.
and getting better, right? So
Always going up and down. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not like a love master now.
Yeah. But
A master of love. Simeon Ross.
the man, the myth, the legend. Yep. Would you say that going to therapy helped you discover all of this, like about
You
yourself,
know,
or like,
it was really beneficial in that I thought I could do it on my own. I'm
mm-hmm.
like, I'm fine. I can walk, go
Oh,
long walks, and I can
said that so many
do this
times.
and that.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
And the truth is, like, my and it's ironic because all my family are doctors, right?
Mm.
And my sister and my dad are psychiatrists, and
Okay.
I'm aware of what they do for a living. But to actually go to a psychiatrist and I didn't really wasn't really buying into it at first. I was like I know I just didn't believe it was going to work for me.
Yeah, you're right.
And um and then what happens is you don't realize it what they're is happening, but it's like they're connecting a spider web of your life, and
Mm-hmm.
everything's connected, and then one day it's like it's revealed, and then
Yeah.
you have this, it's like a light bulb moment where you're like,
Mm-hmm.
holy mackerel, like
Yeah.
this led to that, and I behave this way because of this, and I feel this way. It's related to everything's related, and then you connect it.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is it's so complicated that you can connect to it, but you can't really understand it. It sort of unravels, but you get the essence of it, you get the core of
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're able to really make changes that resonate, that alter your life, like real changes. For
Yeah.
me, when like with depression, it would be a lot of self-hatred. I'd be really
Yeah.
angry at myself.
Right.
And
Beating
that would
yourself
act
up a
out
lot.
in
Yeah.
certain things like, yeah, beating myself up. And that would resonate in other behavior like, um, drinking too much,
Right.
or not taking care of myself,
Yeah.
or, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So therapy kind of helped connect it all and then help me just step up to another level of self-care.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And it's good.
100%. I remember the first time I went to therapy too. I had the same type of idea where I was like, "Oh, this is stupid. This is, I'm not going to tell this random person all my problems, right?" But you get to know this person in this. I mean, obviously not like a personal way, but like just the way that they talk. I feel like, especially if they're like good at what they do, it's like,
Yeah.
my goodness, like my therapist, like I don't see her that often anymore. But just like the way she is, like I don't even really know her that well, but like I'm just pouring out my feelings. I don't know how they do it. But it's a game changer for sure for anyone watching, listening.
It really helped you, eh?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, undoubtedly. Yeah, cool. I
It's a
love
weird
talking about
thing.
all that stuff.
I I think people now are really open about mental health, and
Which I'm so
it's a
happy
lot.
about. I'm a huge
Me
mental health
too.
advocate. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
noticed that at TFS because it's a very uh, what's the word? It's like you embracing. It's like
hmm
embracing people. You have a school of actors which are already characters
Yeah.
and personalities of all types,
Yeah.
and mental health is one thing that's really talked about, really acknowledged, and um, but the students are like really open. Like everyone's, it's not like
hmm
before, like when
Right.
I was younger, it was like no one talked about it.
People talk more. Yeah.
Like you'd saying you went to see a psychiatrist would almost be like an embarrassment. Like,
Yeah. Right.
but
Right.
now everyone's cool with it.
hmm
Like everyone's
hmm
open,
Yeah.
and it makes a difference in the dynamic of being in a place where there's so many personalities.
Yeah. 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 Well, that reminds
Yeah.
me just about like a recently I did an episode of life lessons that I've learned throughout my many years. I make myself so old, but one of the things was it all depends on the type of people that you surround yourself with. And you had mentioned how like if you tell people you are seeing like a psychiatrist, therapist, whatever, um, it depends on that type of response that you get based on the people that you're with, right? So if you're with
Right.
these I don't know, no good people, right? Yeah, of course they're gonna put you down and make you feel like you're crazy for all this stuff. But then you're around the right people, like-minded people. Um, they'll respect you more. Like um, they see you in a different way, I guess. And that's a big thing I experienced for sure when I went to TFS is
Okay.
the like you're saying about clicking. We clicked. Everybody in my class. It was immediate. Like it was like we had known each other for so long, because previously for me, I've had major trust issues, like around new people. Didn't really last that long for these people, right? So it's a real, I don't know, I guess game changer. It sounds kind of weird to say that, but like when you really take a moment and ask yourself, hey, are these people good for my mental health? Are they or bad, right?
Name
Yeah.
some of the people that were in your class again, because there's been
Mhm.
so many classes. I get
Yeah,
confused now.
Well, there's Andre, Fifi,
Oh, yeah.
Natasha, Monica, Kaden,
Yeah,
Janie,
yeah.
Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Great
a great
group.
bunch, great bunch. Yeah. As I said, I haven't talked to a lot of them. Well, I shouldn't say that a lot of them, but I haven't talked to some of them in quite some time. But yeah, I
You
mean,
stay,
hopefully.
you just saying all those names. I'm like, I think I know what they're up to because of Instagram. Like we're all
Yeah.
connected.
Well, that's my extent of my knowledge of where they're at too. Um, yeah, but
Yeah, that was a great crew. Really good.
mhm.
And had as we said, Mother was really
Yeah,
held that group together
the
real
glue.
tight.
Yeah. Um,
Every class has someone that's really highly organized, and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Natasha was her. Yeah, Natasha and Janie kind of were they.
Janie, yeah, she was
Yeah,
on top of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Quickly before we move on, I want to go back to just quickly about your music process, just because I was thinking about it when you were talking. Um, when releasing a song, right, like an album, how do you pick what you want like the single to be? Or is it just like, oh, I like this song, I want to release it first? Or is there like a whole thing behind it?
Well, normally there's a strategy, but this time I'm just putting out the first song we finished was the first song that I wrote. So
Oh,
I kind
okay.
of wanted to do it on purpose to start with that
Right.
sad ballad.
Right.
I know it's probably not the wisest choice, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what you
at this
want.
point,
Yeah.
I really like, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah. No,
Um,
that's
I
good.
just, Yeah, I don't care. It's funny. I was talking to actors about this. Sorry, before I get sidetracked.
Be
Um,
sidetracked. I love it. I get
yeah, no,
sidetracked all the time.
I've got a kind of a strategy for the next 5 songs, how it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be laid out
Mm-hmm.
in energy and tempo, and like, the next 4 songs are more, like I said, a lot more upbeat.
Okay,
Um,
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but and then I'm just gonna kind of put them out at will every 6 weeks. But I think right now, because I took so much time off from music,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm never taking time off again. So every 6 weeks there will be a new song out,
Wow.
even after this album's done. Even if I'm recording a new
Wow.
album, I will record a single and just continually put out new
Mm-hmm.
music
Every six
consistently
weeks.
with a music video. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Um, but yeah, I don't really have a strategy.
Yeah.
I I'm just kind of, it's like I'm starting over. It's funny. It's like I played 1,000 gigs.
Yeah.
I've
Well, it's
done
been a while,
everything you
so it
can.
it could feel like
It's
you're
been a
starting over for
while.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and fresh slate.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
all I want to do is focus on getting sync, putting out music videos, doing social media content, writing, recording.
Mm-hmm.
Just that's all I care about.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about and I want to play live a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's funny. I'm taking a different approach. Well, for the first time, I'm like really organized. I sound like I'm doing it loosey goosey, but I'm like registered my business,
Yeah.
opened a bank account. I have a POS machine for merchandise. I'm
What?
like,
That's so cool.
it's like
Yeah.
I'm I'm really gonna
You got
be
your
organized.
system. Yeah.
But as far as vibe goes, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't really I don't really care if only my mom and my aunties hear it, or if it
You're doing it just because you want to.
I just want to. I
Yeah.
don't really have the ambition or the drive. Like I do. I'd
Mm-hmm.
like people to hear the music. I'd love that more than
Mm-hmm.
anything,
For sure.
obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm not so hung up on the outcome.
People's opinions on it or whatever.
Oh, people's opinions. I, I don't I could care less what people think. And that includes my own family and friends.
All right. That's a
Um,
big thing.
and part of that is part of the stuff we talked about before with self-care and
Mm-hmm.
self-love and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And getting older and wiser as well. But I used to take things really personally when I was young in a band and get a
Mm-hmm.
bad music review.
Right.
Now I tell actors the same thing with when you graduate with everyone's going to have an opinion. Everyone does, right?
Well, yeah.
Even your partner or your family or friends or strangers.
Yeah.
Um, and not everyone's going to be into what you're dishing out, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't all like everybody and everything. Not everyone's going to like what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
Can't please everybody.
and so you just got to realize that what you're doing as an actor or as a musician or anything is going to resonate with people where it does matter. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what counts.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that
what matters.
connection,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I had a bad review on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
on a song, and somebody said, "Sorry, Mr. Ross, this song's not very good," or
Oh,
something like that. This song's terrible. And I
okay.
just wrote back, um, "Thanks for letting me know, Mom. Can't wait to see you at
Oh,
Christmas."
was it your mom?
No, no,
Oh, okay.
some random stranger.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna
Um,
say if that was like your mom, that would be like, oh, it's
so
nice.
I tell the actors in producing and directing three, I'm like, you gotta not take things personally. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about what people think. Everyone has an
Yeah.
opinion. They're not always going to be on your side, right? So
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Right.
Just if you feel it here, um, and you're really
Mm-hmm.
doing it from a genuine place, that's all that matters. Who
Mm-hmm.
cares?
Oh
Who
yeah.
cares what the outcome is?
Yeah. Oh,
Kind of goes into. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I
no,
talk
I
a
was just
lot.
gonna
So
say
go ahead.
no. You're the guest. I like that you're talking lots for sure. No, I was just gonna say I heard a quote quite a few years ago that's really resonated with me, and it's kind of about what we're talking about. Those who matter don't mind. Those who mind don't matter. I love the play
I
on
love it.
words. Those kind of quotes, and yeah, it really so true, right? It's
I'm going to use that.
yeah, yeah.
it's a little harder, I think, when you're younger and you're starting out,
Mm,
and you get criticism. It To take it personally, it hurts
yeah,
you because you put your everything into
yeah.
something, and then
Hmm.
somebody says garbage. You're human garbage.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah. So
well,
nice
I'm
of
just
you.
trying to. So, and when
Yeah.
you're younger, you have less maybe confidence, and your egos hurt more or something. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
'Cause my ego just um I don't I don't know what it is. Obviously, I have an ego,
Hmm.
but it's not like arrogance
Yeah.
in any
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like confidence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could literally, can I swear on your show?
Absolutely.
I could literally give a shit what anyone
Yeah.
thinks.
Yeah.
I wish that younger actors would um, get to that place quicker and be more confident so that they could realize, like, just worry about you,
Hmm. Hmm.
do your thing with
Yeah.
confidence,
Yeah.
and don't get bogged down by negativity. And also it kind of leads to like auditioning, what we were talking about last time, like the Bryan Cranston, Robert De Niro
Yeah.
like advice,
Yeah. Just
which you
show up.
can say what that
Hmm.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Just you're doing the work.
You're doing the work,
Yeah.
and for an audition, it's like
Yeah.
you want if you go into the audition being like, I need this job, I need to pay my
Yeah.
rent, I'm starving, I need
Hmm.
to, et cetera, and you're desperate to get the job, you need the job
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Right.
You're not gonna,
You're not
that's
gonna
not the
get it.
way to do it.
No.
You're not gonna get it.
No.
And Cranston said the day he realized, I use this as an opportunity to act,
Yeah.
and I can do my thing. And
Yeah.
then as soon as I walk out the door, you let it go. You
Yep.
don't think about, am I getting a call back? Should I bug
Mm.
people? Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And the second you do that and you go in and do the work,
Yeah.
and that's all you care about,
Yeah.
that's when you get hired.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And so it kind of relates to, I'm like, just with when you're younger, just do the work, concentrate on your thing, do what you do to the best of your ability with heart and with your soul,
Yeah.
and also do the take the time to do the work,
All right.
and that's all that matters. And then let it all go, like,
Yeah.
and then move on to the next thing.
Hmm.
And that's how you're going to succeed as a human and as an artist.
Yep. For sure. The idea of letting it go is, I can definitely see it being a lot easier said than done to most people.
Yeah.
That's something that I for sure struggled with. I don't know if that's something you ever were
Oh yeah.
fixated on,
Oh,
but
huge, huge. Yeah.
how did you get over that then? Like, of just being able to
Um,
fully trust and let go, I guess.
well, all the stuff we've been talking about on this um, podcast, but
Mm-hmm.
also honestly, I think something really clicked for me when I saw that Bryan Cranston
Yeah, 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 yeah,
interview.
yeah.
And and then when I went down the rabbit hole from him talking about it to other actors talking about it,
Yeah,
and it just really resonated. Like, I
yeah.
was like, yeah, they're right. Like,
Oh
they're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because rejection's hard, and you're in a acting, you guys
Rejection
were
City.
like,
Yeah,
it's like 99.9%
yeah,
rejection.
yeah.
And it's like, we talk about this producing, directing too. It's like there's so many variables. You
Mm-hmm.
can't, it's not you personally as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like with music, if someone doesn't like my music, they don't, it's because they're not, it doesn't resonate. It's fine,
Yeah, yeah. It's
right?
not for them. Yeah.
And with film, it's like for auditioning, there's so many variables on, like, we would hold, I've been behind the audition table for projects where like 50 actors come in, and there's 10 of them or 5 of them that are unbelievable, or
Yeah.
maybe all of them are great,
All right.
or but there's so many things that don't connect. This amazing, like you,
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, come in, you're amazing, but it doesn't match with the other actor, lead actor, or there's something about it just doesn't click. And it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with you as a human being
All
or
right.
an actor. You're a
Yeah.
talented actor, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And so you can't take the rejection personally. There's so many things out of your control that have nothing to do with you. that
Mm-hmm.
you don't get picked, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing you can do is do the work, be consistent, and get out and do the next one because you
Mm.
will be right for something. And the funny story I tell is Jenna Fisher from The
Yeah.
Office.
Oh yeah.
Um, her book is unbelievable.
I
Like
got it. The
I
actors. What is it? The actors. What?
Actor's Life.
Actors Life. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone gave it to me. Yeah. I haven't read it yet though. Terrible for that.
I
But
think that's one of the best. I've read a lot of acting books.
mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorites because it's informative, inspiring,
Yeah.
but it's funny. It's like
Right.
super funny.
Right. Right. Right.
So she's talking about when she moved to LA, she was on like hot shit in her acting school in
Yeah.
her college or whatever. She was like superstar and moved to LA to make it. And her and her roommate lived in some dingy apartment, and she just sat in her basement putting out headshots to all these people and watching like Katharine Hepburn movies and reading
Yeah.
backstage. And she's like, I'm being an actor. I'm doing it, right?
Yeah.
But no one was reaching back to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she did this for 8 years and toiling in LA.
Well, yeah.
And her roommate was joined a theater company, and don't quote me on this, but it was basically they were doing taking tickets and like mop on the floor and stuff. Eventually joined the troupe and then met all these people and got on film sets. And
All right.
so Fisher saw the whole world open up by
Yeah.
saying, be a joiner, say yes to stuff.
Right.
I used to be a big believer in saying no to,
Yeah.
I said no to a lot I'm kind of a hermit. I'm a loner. So, um, but now I'm saying yes, and it's opening up my world. And so
Mm-hmm.
she was saying she did that.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to this audition and totally not right for that role.
Yeah.
But the casting director really liked her, but like she wasn't a good fit.
Right.
So 2 years later, that casting director was the casting director for The Office, but she always remembered Jenna Fisher. And she's like, she was not right for that role. She's perfect for this one. So
Yeah.
she
Brought her
went in for
back.
the audition,
Yeah.
changed her life.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's a great story that she tells about um, one, saying yes to things and joining, join an acting class, go train, go
Mm.
make films with your film friends, like
Yeah.
do stuff, audition, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But the other thing was also don't take things personally because, I mean, the
You just
casting
can't.
director
Yeah.
loved her.
Yeah.
She just couldn't hire her for that particular
Mm-hmm.
role. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
kind of cool. But that book's
Really cool. Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just about what you're saying about be a joiner and like actually doing it. Recently, I'd actually reached out to Natasha, Monica, and Caden.
Oh, cool.
And I just had this idea. I'm like, hey guys, what if we did this like weekly like Zoom call where we pick a scene, we perform it, and we critique each other. We give each other tips, right? Because then we can like still act together, and
Wow.
obviously we can stay in touch, right? And yeah, it sounds like they're all on board, so that's super fun. Like we'll get that set up at some point. Yeah, I just had that idea, and I'm like, I should totally do that because obviously as now that we're not in school, it's hard to stay involved with acting, right? I mean, I do have an agent, and he gets me or he sends me tapes, but tape requests, but I mean, it's different than actually
Energy,
yeah, exactly.
connection,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and inspiring. That is such a great thing you're doing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good idea.
Wow.
All
Yeah.
three of those people just actually liked my last Instagram story. It's funny, those three names.
Oh wow. Eh? Cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen Monica for a while. Caden came in last term
That's
and
right.
acted in, yeah, and he was great. I love that dude.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
Um, uh, Natasha, just awesome actor too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all great.
that's good. Good that you guys are doing that. Do you guys
Yeah.
have access to film gear too, or no?
Like into like cameras and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do, but like I just use my phone whenever I do auditions or whatever. Which
Oh,
I
okay.
eventually want to get a camera, but I mean, thankfully these new phones have such phenomenal cameras on them nowadays that
Yeah.
they're good for self tapes.
Oh, for self tapes. Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yeah.
So because we
Are
had
you
a
or were you
similar,
talking about something
so,
else?
yeah, I was like in regards to what you're saying, I had a similar idea where with graduates,
Mm,
I was like, why don't we uh, like I'm looking at my acting reel. I'm like, I need to upgrade because I want to start auditioning again.
yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
anyway, my reels I'm like, no, it's time for a new one.
Yeah.
And um, so because I've been so heavily focused on music and filmmaking and teaching, I'm like, um, why don't we go in and start instead of making films, which we're going to do. So why don't we start with something like take a 30-second scene,
Yeah.
and so you and I have a scene together.
Right.
I have all the lines, you have one line. It's all dirty, shot over the shoulder coverage of me. And then we shoot to you for one line and then back to me, but that's for my reel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we take this exact same scene, flip it.
Flip.
So
Right.
you have all the lines.
For
And
yeah.
then we both spend an afternoon, we film it, and then all of a sudden two of us have 30-second scene for the reel.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, no one cares that it's not an actual film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, they
You just want to see
they
if you
just
can
want to
act.
see your acting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then do a bunch of those, and then all of a sudden you have a little collective of actors, and we all have scenes for our reel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday or 2 days ago, we did it. We started.
Awesome.
So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
two graduates, Sarah and Jackson, we met up to do a test run.
That's
Well,
right.
it's an actual. We can use the footage; it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more like like day one. Let's
Yeah.
see. And it was just so great.
Mm-hmm.
But not just the footage and the scenes and the acting and all that stuff. But what was really cool was what you're talking about,
Yeah.
which is I'm a lone wolf and I'm a hermit and I spend almost all my time alone. Um, but man, I got to tell you, my energy even today
Mm-hmm.
um, is way up from the three shoots I just did. And being with
Yeah.
those guys on that set, it's just you're laughing,
Oh
you're
yeah.
having fun,
Yeah.
you're re-inspired, you're
Yeah.
like you want to do more.
Yeah.
You just you can't do it on your own. You need people
Mm-hmm.
and you need to
Yeah.
and then we're all fulfilled. Like if they're texting me like they're so excited and I'm excited and we've got our next date booked on the 13th for the second shoot and
Yeah.
then it's like we're gonna start banging them out and then we're gonna lead up to films where the films start
Yeah.
and for me it's like those two and then bringing in graduates to do stuff and even one-on-one stuff is another thing I'm thinking like take a scene like a 2 minute, like a 1 minute scene or a 2 minute scene.
Right.
You and I, Jordan, we meet at your house. I bring lights. We set the camera up. We shoot um, a scene, and then we have that. And whether you can use that for your reel or you can use it for your social media or nothing,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. It's just the
Just the
fact that
fact that
we
you're
got
doing it.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm really realizing that I need to manage my hermit mode stuff. In that I need to open my world to projects
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and be really involved in other people
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, it just builds you up, and you're all building each other's foundations together, and it's inspiring, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And then also on a side note to that, really making more effort to make time for my personal friends
Mm-hmm.
and I had a friend that was saying I hadn't seen her for many years, and we're talking about the old days,
Yeah.
and we're laughing, and then she goes, "Well, those were great times, and I wouldn't trade them for the world, but I think it's time to make some new memories."
Mm.
And I'm like, "Oh," and she's right. So
Yeah.
along with all this stuff, I've really been making an effort to see my friends and like spend quality time with friends, and I'm noticing over the last 6 months, a year, I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing them on a regular basis. My sister, I'm seeing her a lot more now.
Awesome.
Like
Yeah.
even just going for dinner once a month.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And so really opening up your world to other people just inspires you
Oh,
coming back.
people crave people. Like like we just as a species, we just crave that
Right.
like collaboration, right? Like you were saying, it's the energy, it's the just the feeling we all get of just of, I don't know, working together or just going out for dinner. It's yeah, it's I don't know, some brain stuff going on. It's like we need
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
One other thing I'll say before I forget about that
Yeah.
show, we're playing a show on July 10th,
Yep.
and I think I'm going to do it acoustic at the Painted Lady, but my friend Sigrun's playing and I'm playing, and then the funny part about it is Hart Massey,
That's right.
head of the acting department
Yep.
for Toronto Film School, um, the mystical unicorn on campus. Where you see him once in a while, it's like,
Oh yeah. Oh, that's hard. Oh, be on your best behavior. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, he's got a cover band and he's on the bill. He's playing.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. I
he's going
remember
to
you
be
you
playing
mentioning
that
that.
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, I got to get on those tickets, advanced tickets, which will be out in the next day or two.
Cool.
Um,
Cool. Awesome.
but
Yeah.
it'll be a heck of a night, and it'll be really fun to see
Yeah.
Heart's band play.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. You'll have to. I'll be on the lookout for more infos because I'd love to come check it out for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Quickly, you'd mentioned about Hart, and I remember from the first time we talked, the very funny story of how you became a teacher
Oh,
at TFS.
right.
Do you mind diving into that quickly? Just
Oh, sure. So Matt McDonald,
mhm.
who's the voiceover teacher at TFS,
Yeah, yeah,
um, we were uh, we were classmates in TFS when we were in the program.
yeah.
And so when we came out right before COVID, we graduated, and then uh, everything kind of shut down. But then TFS opened for online classes, and Maddie went in and was working there, and which I was so happy for him.
Hmm.
And then one day I got this call from Hart Massey, and he said, "How would you feel about coming in to?" And at this point, I was when I was just starting to play guitar, and I was not doing well mentally, and
Hmm.
I was kind of going further away from myself. I felt like the breakup and COVID, and then I was not taking care of myself, and I was like going the opposite way of the way I should have been going.
Yeah, okay.
And so when he called in and he was like, "How do you feel about being a teacher? We'd start off as an assistant and
Hmm.
then slowly integrate you into your own classes." And because I really think you might be good at it. And how do you feel about having a job? And I went, "Wow, what an incredible opportunity." Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
And Hart was like, "What?" I'll go, "Yeah, I don't think that's like I've never, me, a teacher, like, what are you
Yeah,
talking about?" I'm like,
yeah.
"No, no, that," and he goes, "Okay, well, I think you're going to be really good at it. I'm sending you all the info. You start in 2 weeks." I'm like, "No, Hart, really, I'm not, I don't think this is for me." And he goes, "Okay, see you later, buddy." Click. And
I love
I was like,
that.
and then I called
Yeah.
my mom. I said, "Mom, I think I just got a job that I didn't apply for."
Yeah.
And as it turned out, absolutely, he was right. It was like such guy. I'd say one of the most valuable experiences of my entire life, literally, is being Ingrid Hart.
Mm.
She's an acting
Yeah.
teacher, for those who don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, her assistant was like taking a master class in acting
Yeah.
every week for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Just the quality and the craftsmanship that she's a master teacher of acting.
Right, right, right.
And that experience alone, even if I never taught my own class ever, and I just had that experience, it was such a valuable, eye-opening, inspiring thing to witness and to be a part of.
For
And
sure.
on top of that, I was starting to make films, not like once every 6 months, but every week.
Mm-hmm.
And so then suddenly I was shooting scenes with Ingrid and
Mm-hmm.
getting lighting down. And then once I got my own classes, I just really dived into like lighting techniques and like you just I do love that every promotion I would get at TFS would be the same conversation with Hart. Hey, would you like to teach your own basic camera skills class? Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that. Okay, you start in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't care. You're
And
doing this. Yeah.
for one thing I love about that job is that you never stop learning ever.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And like all things in life, but this in particular, it's like you never, it's like I think I might have said this to you, but I love the moments where um, in the second half of the term, student sets up a shot and I'm like, okay, can we just raise the tripod, put it over on this angle? I think this might be better. And so we do that and we set my shot up and then we look at it and I go, yeah, no, your shot's way better. And
Yeah.
then it's a shot that I never would have thought on my own to use that angle or whatever. And it's something I use always moving forward again. So like learning from students, um, you never stop learning. That's what I love about it.
For sure.
Cameron Anderson started this thing with a spotlight through a window with gaff tape creating shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use that on every shoot. And then I've taken her original idea and have about five other techniques built on that on original thing, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that. I just love it when when the students are so good at they learning and then they become really on top of their game,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
also when I can learn from them. So that's kind of
Right.
it's kind of cool. And
Yeah.
also one thing I had to learn, which took many years, was um, how to be how to be more I don't know strict. I'm not strict.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
laid back. I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
For an acting teacher, I my favorites were always like the whiplash teachers, right? Like
Yeah.
the harder they were, the more I like it. The more no bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
hardcore, and that's great for acting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I prefer.
Yeah.
But for film production, that's not me. I'm not that.
All right.
And um, but I have figured out how to be more organized and to be a little more stern or lay down the foundation of what's expected. And I mean, this, I just am finally coming to terms with that now, and it took years. Um, it's a new thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like brand new. Like I'm talking within the last 3 months
Wow. Eh?
that I really it clicked, and this last term was just awesome. I
Great.
had great students, but also on their game. No fooling around, hard work, lots of laughs, but with guidelines, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you gotta have some Law
Not
and Order type deal, but like,
Law and Order, yeah, and that's
yeah.
my problem. My problem is I don't live my life with Law and Order or rules, or I'm loosey goosey, right? So there's a lesson I learned too from that place. Be more
Yeah.
organized.
Yeah. Well, you had mentioned just about like when you're like when you teach students and they get on top of the ball with their stuff and like it becomes that sort of instead of a teaching environment, it's more of like a collaborative experience again. And
Yeah,
I can see how it's yeah,
absolutely.
for sure a great thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's the same as what you're talking about with
Mm-hmm.
Monica, Caden, and Natasha. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, and me with the graduates I'm starting to work with, it's like the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
We're building off
over the
each other.
last,
Yeah.
yeah, even
Yeah.
last night with we weren't filmmaking. I was my filmmaking partner April and I were there, but Alyssa, who's an acting graduate, came to help out on set. She was there
Yeah.
to be around people and energy. She wants to be on a
Awesome.
set. She wants to just help out and like she was there with a glue gun, gluing stuff on paper and like
For sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
And she'll be on camera for future projects, but she just didn't even care. She just wants to be
Just wants to be a part of it. Yeah.
involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which
I
really
love
blows
that.
my mind.
Yeah.
And I learned stuff. some of the acting techniques that Emma and Isabel were doing it yesterday, it was a reminder of how much I love acting. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and being on camera 2 days ago, I was like, oh, it felt weird being in
Yeah.
front
Yeah.
of the camera
Right.
instead of behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But then by the end, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. This is why I do all this in the
Yeah.
first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forgot
Yeah.
that I'm an actor.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, when you don't do it for a while, it feels
yeah,
like that sort of like fresh start, like we were talking about. I know that's well when we start, like the four of us or whatever doing that. Um, I think it's gonna be almost like an awakening of some kind because yeah, it has been a while since I've acted with people. And I'm not saying I've lost my passion for acting. I love like I tell everybody, oh, I'm an actor, and I have this like inner sense of like pride. I'm like, yeah, I'm an actor. I'm an
it's
actor.
good.
But like when I start actually acting with people again, I think that's going to really reignite that love, that fiery passion, that craving. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm really really excited for that. Something very cinematic,
So cool.
super cinematic, movies, everything. You got to talk about these slow motion videos. I know we were kind of talking about it the last time, but I don't remember a lot of what went down in this. But like, how did this all start? And kind of why did it
Yeah,
stick? I guess.
as far as I can remember, it started off being a smartass. I was being doing something as a smartass.
Yeah.
Uh, and then I did another one, and it just kind of kept going. And then the more people made fun of me, the more I did it. That's what happens because I get teased relentlessly about the slow-mos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And and the funny thing is, and um, the funny thing is all the TFSers in particular really tear me apart about those. Um, but on the last class, consistently, everyone wants to do a slow-mo video.
Right. We totally should have done one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Um,
Yeah, but I am I just get teased all the time about the slow-mos. And the more I get teased, the more I do it. So
yeah. Could be worse, right? Yeah.
although who was it? Oh, Matt McDonald did a slow-mo and he posted, oh yeah, Ross might be right about this slow-mo thing.
Yeah. It's
After
a
making fun
movement.
of me for 2 years.
Yeah. Do you think you would ever make like a whole like short film, like a dramatic sort of like comedic, obviously, but like inspired by the slow motion stuff, or is it strictly just like a for fun thing?
I I maybe a music video. I
That
can't
kind of thing.
imagine
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I can't imagine a film being like that. You might have
Or like a
sparked something
scene
that
or
could be
something.
funny.
Yeah, yeah.
A scene within a film would be really funny,
Right.
something really dumb.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that. I do love in what's that movie? The Other Guys with Will Ferrell
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg
Wahlberg. Yeah, yeah.
when they go on their drinking spree.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
that's all in slow-mo.
Yeah.
Those are stills though too. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, moving on to the tiny home talk.
Oh
You love
wow,
tiny homes,
I do. I'm obsessed with them.
and I don't know much about them. So,
Oh really?
yeah.
Um, the I've always really loved like my place where I live is tiny, and
Okay.
I had an option between a large place and this place,
Hmm.
and I moved here. My friends
Yeah.
thought I was nuts. And then my godkids, when they were little, really little, I moved to a bigger place because I wanted them to be able to stay over
Right.
for sleepovers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I got a bigger place, and they didn't really sleep over once in a while, but like, um, and so I was just seeing this big, huge apartment, and I'm like, I hate big spaces. So I called my landlord and said, "Hey, can I come back to my tiny apartment?" And I did, and I've been here for 10 years. I mean, it's
Awesome,
small,
eh?
but
But you
it's
like the
got a
cozy vibe,
boutique.
I guess. Yeah.
it's got like a boutique hotel feel to it
Okay,
and big
nice.
windows with lots of light, and it just feels like just I love it. And
Yeah.
with the tiny homes, I just love. I follow about 500 tiny home sites on Instagram, and I spend a lot of time looking at tiny home stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my dream is to own a tiny home and then have a connected studio
Oh,
music
awesome.
spot
Yeah.
and have it. But I would love to have a tiny. There's this one in New Zealand called Shay's Tiny Homes.
Yeah.
God, like you think tiny home, you're like, okay, this tiny, but
Little
these are
box
like
or something.
tiny,
Yeah.
but they've got like a stairwell that goes up and bed two rooms on the
Cool.
top and super modern and
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my dream is to have the tiny home and then have like a hallway with glass that connects with two doors
Yeah.
for the winter. And then you walk down the hall and that connects to the studio where you would have the wall with the curved wall.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then you'd be able to rehearse, make films, play music. And that's not a dream, it's my goal. It's like what I'm working towards
Mm-hmm.
planning. So
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
um
Yeah.
but there's just something about the simplicity of it that
Mm-hmm.
I love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know if I have the right idea. Like I'm pretty sure it's those things where they could build them in like a day or something like that, right? Like they build them in
Yeah,
this
there's
big factory and they put them together. They like ship them out to you. Is that
They
correct?
have
Yeah.
prefab homes, which are
Yeah. Yeah.
really amazing. There's all
Yeah.
sorts of different kinds of
Right.
tiny homes. When you think tiny home, it's like not like my family cottage, which is renovated now, but it used to be like a hunting cottage from the 1920s or
Yeah.
something. It's
Yeah.
like, that's not tiny homes. They're
Right. It's
really
different.
modern, really,
Mm-hmm.
really interesting, really, I don't know, just so cool. I love them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you can do prefabs they can ship it out, build it in like one day
That's so cool. Yeah. You just
as
buy the
well.
land and then they
And then you have the custom tiny home guys, like the indie guys that are um like Shay's Tiny Homes is one of those
you're right, right,
examples.
right.
There's a Mitch Craft, like all these pre I can't remember all the names now. I can't remember. There's a bunch of companies out in the East Coast actually
Yeah.
that are um uh really indie companies that make these amazing homes that deliver anywhere in Canada kind of thing.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then also with the tiny homes, you're like they're not like you're looking at like a house. I don't know how much a house is, but a tiny home is a fraction of that cost.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think like what did they start at like just 50 grand or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean for a really good one, it'd be a couple hundred grand or something
But even that's not bad for a house nowadays. Yeah.
for a house. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm always amazed because I watch a lot of YouTube videos on it too. But I'm always for me it would be good or maybe with a partner, but like um families that move into tiny homes with like four dogs and like three kids. I'm like, oh my God,
Oh,
I don't know.
wow. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
a
know how
lot.
that works.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more made for, yeah, like you're saying, like singles or partners. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this topic is kind of split into two. So we had the tiny home talk, but now we have a little bit of a personality deep dive in terms of um, you're a godfather,
I am.
and I hear it means a lot to you. Um,
It's my number one thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you enjoy
My
most about?
my drummer and I met when we were teenager, 13
Okay,
and 14 and so her kids are my god kids.
okay.
But in a really not just like crazy uncle way, like very active way. Like when they were little, I picked up my goddaughter from school for like 10 years, like
Mm,
two, three times a week.
wow, yeah,
Um, so like really heavily involved with their childhood and growing up. And
yeah,
I was never a dad, and I always wanted to be one.
yeah.
And I thought I'd be a great dad, but it just didn't pan out that way.
Mm,
And but I was lucky to be able to experience the process of process. It's like seeing them grow from, like I
being
held
a part of
Piper.
their, yeah,
Yeah, I
their
held that kid in
childhood. Yeah.
my hand, and she was like, with the hospital tag on her
Right.
toe.
Yeah.
Um, I remember she grabbed my finger because that kid and I are like she was attached to my hip as she's growing up, right?
Yeah.
And then her brother after. But um, to see the evolution of their lives from zero to how old they are now,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
be able to experience the like being around kids and helping raise them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but also, I do have to say something really beautiful about at the end of the day being able to moonwalk your way out of that house.
You get to deal with all the fun stuff and all the hard stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not your
Yeah.
domain. Yeah.
It's like high-fiving on the way out the door to the
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah. Love it. Um,
So yeah, it's just the best experience. It's
yeah.
like they're my favorite one of my favorite thing in life is one of my favorite things is being a godfather.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I get to experience that feeling of parenthood, but without being a parent.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like we were saying, that just you get to be literally just the fun parent almost.
The
Um,
fun parent,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. Okay, we're wrapping it up here, but if you remember, I always like to end off on my rapid fire cues.
Oh yeah.
If you have the impulse to speak more on it, please do, but also
Oh,
it's fine if it's just a quick little thing.
okay.
Which is better, acting for camera or acting on the stage?
I feel acting on stage more. I like acting on film
Okay.
to do.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Favorite season?
Fall,
Nice. Favorite music genre?
80s post-punk.
Cool. Very cool. What's your the most inspiring album to you?
Um,
Or favorite album? You
well,
could even work.
favorite album of all time.
Sure.
The Cocteau Twins, Heaven or Las Vegas.
Okay.
Close second would be The Cure, Disintegration, or like
Nice.
Depeche Mode. All those bands, so hard to pick that. But I think, yeah, probably Cocteau Twins.
Cool. Cool. Last movie that made you cry?
Well, The Wrong Missy made me cry, but not for the reasons you're probably thinking. Okay, have you seen The Wrong Missy?
No, I haven't.
It's the funniest movie ever.
Okay.
It's like tears of joy.
Oh, nice.
Um, but I watched this movie quite a bit, and it always makes me cry every single time. Uh, is Remains of the Day with Anthony Hopkins and Emma Thompson. It's like
Mm,
this master mov movie. It's a classic where just in acting, like just alone, but it's like such a soul-wrenching closing scene.
wow, eh? Love that.
Although we did watch years ago, watch The Bridges of Madison County with a group of girls that I worked with at the time. We had a party and they wanted to watch Bridges of Madison County. And at the end, I was bawling my eyes out uncontrollably, and none of them were crying. And it's been 10 years and I'm still getting made fun of for that.
That's what you're known for. Yeah. If your life had a theme song, what would it be?
It would be Shipbuilding,
Very cool. Who's that by?
Elvis Costello,
Okay, nice.
with a trumpet solo by Chet Baker.
Biggest pet peeve.
People who eat hot meals on the subway
Oh, interesting. Why?
grosses me out so much. And they open it up, and then the whole subway smells
Oh, yeah.
like pasta primavera or whatever they're eating. It's disgusting, and then it's just so gross in the subway too.
Oh, yeah. It's very dirty. Yeah. I
Think
wouldn't want to
about
do that.
pre-COVID days. Someone brought this up. They're like, we used to go on the subway and hold the handles, and then go bowling, and then like just all day, and then go eat a sub. And when you're eting your sub, you'd be
Right.
like,
Where have those hands
not
been?
anymore.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Okay, and the last one. about tiny homes. Would you rather live in a tiny home in the forest or by the ocean?
Um, in a forest by a lake.
Okay, so the kind of the best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you one quick rapid fire question because you asked me last time.
Okay.
Um, I thought it was a good question, but like, if you could have dinner with any fictional character,
Oh,
who would it be?
I wasn't prepared to answer any questions. Any fictional I'd have to say Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a high five on that.
Air high five. Virtual high five. Yes.
Mrs. Doubtfire. That's awesome.
Love that. Okay, well, that's all I got. I want to really thank you for
Thanks so much.
coming on the show and, of course, coming back to the show. I mean, many people probably would have been like, nope, sorry, you missed your chance.
No, it was so fun the
I
first
appreciate
time.
it. Yeah.
It was
awesome.
great.
I'm going to leave
Thank you.
the floor to you just briefly if you want to shout anything out, your social medias, where can people find your stuff?
Instagram's my main thing, and TikTok and all that stuff. All those things.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
And your handle is it Simeon Ross?
Simeon Ross Music.
That's right. Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, I thank you guys all so much for listening, watching, viewing, all that kind of stuff. Make sure to follow the show on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube at Off the Record with Jordan Rance, and catch new episodes every single Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, wherever you get your podcasts. That's all we got for now. Once again, my name is Jordan Rance, and this is Simeon Ross, and we are out of here. Bye.